Hello, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be taking a deep dive into my manga collection. Now that we're revolving our YouTube content over anime culture, one thing that I definitely want more videos of is about manga. For those of you that have known me a long time, you know that I'm a huge Pokemon fan and I love collecting, and manga fills that void. Since I've taken my deep dive into anime, manga also feels like collecting to me, especially with the plethora of volumes out there for different series. It really does feel like collecting in my personal opinion. Now, this video is going to duel in two things. One, I'm going to be showing you my current manga collection. Two, I'm going to show you how I organize my bookshelf. Let me know down in the comments what you're reading currently right now as we're getting into this video. Even if it's not manga, just let me know. I'm always looking for new series, new things to try out. Maybe I'll try out a series that you're reading and liking. But for now, let's get into the video. Okay, so apologize if the camera seems a little shaky a little bit at times. It is not on the flattest surface. It's a very not good setup. Now, the first series I'm going to show you is actually not a manga series. It's actually a light novel series. So I guess this YouTube video title and thumbnail is kind of a lie, but it is 86. Now, I recently just watched the first season of 86, or season 1, part 1, I guess I should say. It's absolutely incredible. I love the story. I love the characters. And I think part 2 coming out here in, well, tomorrow at the time of this recording is going to be really, really good. And I actually think part 2 starts at the second light novel volume. So if you're someone like me that can't find volume 1 of this series, but you can find volume 2 and you're already up to date like on the anime, you can start reading this, I believe. The first ones on this shelf are going to be incomplete series, or series that I have not caught all the way up to date yet. Now, the next one that I have is actually the first 3 volumes of Attack on Titan for the fall. Now, Attack on Titan, one of the more highly regarded series out right now in terms of the anime. The final season, I believe the final part of the final season, is coming out in January 2022, so very exciting. This is a spin-off series of it, or before the times of where Attack on Titan, the anime, takes place. And I find it to be very interesting. This is much easier to find than the original Attack on Titan series, and I think that reading this kind of before things kick off can give you a little bit of prefix as to where the anime takes place, and can be really, really cool. So I really, really enjoy this. I'm still working on it, only through the first 3 volumes as of right now. The next series that I've got here is Beastars. Now, if you watch us on Twitch or anything like that, you know that I absolutely love Beastars, and I think it's an incredible anime, and the manga is just as good as well. And you may have noticed that if you follow Beastars, that this one back here is not volume 3. This is actually volume 14. The reason that I have volume 14 is because at the time of this recording, this recently just released this week. So you'll see this a couple times throughout this video, but I will have picked up the newest ones of the series, and I still have a lot to catch up on. Now, I currently have the first 3 volumes of Black Clover, one of my favorite fantasy magical animes, in my opinion, and the art in here is beautiful. It follows pretty well, at least through the first 3 volumes. It follows pretty well to the anime, even though this is the original source, so I guess the anime following it. But it's a very, very enjoyable read, and I really enjoy it. I'm still looking for number 4, though. Number 4 is like the one that is non-existent. Now for Blue Period. Now, Blue Period, anyone who may be new here, you may not have seen, I had a video on my channel recently about the new trailer that dropped for this anime coming out. Well, I guess it's technically already out. We're just waiting on it to arrive everywhere outside of Japan on Netflix. This is an absolutely beautiful story. I started reading the manga before the first episode of the anime came out, and I was just absolutely hooked. This is a recommendation from a friend, and its artistic beauty and actually teaching like different art styles for this character, our main character, is absolutely beautiful, and I just enjoy this very much, and I'm looking forward to hopefully snagging soon volumes 3 and 4 to be fully caught up. Now, the next set we have here, biggest one that we have yet, and it is the Case Study of Vanitas. So now, for anyone who doesn't know, the Case Study of Vanitas was actually my #1 summer/spring anime of this year in 2021, and this is honestly the most beautiful manga that I've read up to this point. This is absolutely a beautiful story. Absolutely love this plot line. I love the characters. I love the, oh, it's just, I cannot recommend this enough if you like vampires, fantasy, or honestly, just like a good story. I'm almost all the way caught up. I'm just missing 4 and 5 right now. I don't believe there's a volume 9 scheduled yet, but it should be coming soon. Again, cannot recommend this enough. Moving down the conga line here, we have a couple volumes real quick of Chainsaw Man. Now, Chainsaw Man is what, well, I think I can show that on YouTube, but anyways, Chainsaw Man, one of the big hit mangas right now, doing super well, and an anime recently announced has just made its surge in popularity on top of that. And even though I've only been through the first volume, I find the characters in this to be intriguing. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty gruesome, but I mean, I really enjoy the art in it. I really enjoy the characters as of right now, and it's just unfolding for me personally. But this is literally non-existent. I mean, I was able to get this on release day, thankfully. I showed up right when the store opened, the day that volume 6 released. But aside from that, I have not been able to find this. I only have volume 1 because of a friend who gave it to me that wanted me to read it. And again, if you want to find this, you're going to either have to pay scalp values on eBay, or you're just going to have to get lucky, I guess. Now, this was actually one of the first pieces of manga that I bought, Death Note Black Edition. I liked Death Note. I ended up watching it. It was very intriguing and caught my attention very well. And Death Note the manga is doing just the same, and I absolutely love this black edition, how the book is black, the page sides are black. This is the way that I want to collect Death Note, and I haven't been able to find very many of these volumes as of right now in my area, but hopefully I can get back into it because I want to get all of these. Death Note, of one of the more popular animes in the 21st century, and it's pretty tough. I have not really seen regular volumes of Death Note, like original release volumes. I've only ever seen like black edition or box sets. Now, speaking of a manga that is hard to find, Q in Erased. Erased, one of my favorite animes at all time, especially in isekai, and this is an absolutely beautiful story and I absolutely love it. These are hardcover books. Like, I think it's the only hardcover manga that I have, but it's just absolutely incredible. I also cannot recommend this anime enough. There are 9 volumes of Erased. This came out several years ago, and again, very much non-existent in terms of finding it. These are kind of the 2 frequent volumes that I see these volumes all the time in store whenever there's a restock or online. These 2 are the ones that are available, and all the other ones are just, again, non-existent. So hopefully I can collect the rest of them. I would love to be able to have all 9 of them someday. I'm just like fingers crossed, like, I don't know, 15th anniversary box set or 10th anniversary box set or something like that. I don't know. I hope. And so now we bring in a fun story, Fairy Tail. Now, Fairy Tail, I have not seen the anime. I know this is a popular series, and I know a lot of people were excited, especially when the 100 Years Quest was announced. I've just recently started Fairy Tail, and honestly, I just bought this on a whim. I bought this first volume on a whim because I heard like one person talk good about it in our community, and I really like the art style. It reminds me a lot of One Piece, and I really like that kind of art style. So I was like, you know what, why not just give this a shot? And it's been very enjoyable so far. I've only have the first 3 volumes. This is pretty easy in my opinion to be able to find all the volumes in store. I think almost every time that I have gone to Barnes & Noble, at least in person, I've been able to find like pretty much every single volume of this manga. Now, the next one that we have is Fire Force. Now, the story in Fire Force is very interesting. I would say the overall plot is not different than a lot of other animes that you'll see of this kind of genre, but I think Fire Force has very interesting characters. There's a lot of characters that you start to care about and that you grow to with a high amount of them. It's very difficult to be able to do that in my opinion. But honestly, in the anime, I got so hooked because of the sound effects. I easily think that Fire Force does the best sound of any anime that I've watched so far, and I'm very excited for season 3 potentially to come soon. I only have the first couple volumes, and I just recently picked up volume 24 because it came out earlier this week at the time of this recording. So hopefully I pick up more of the volumes soon before season 3 ends up being released. Now, I only have one volume of Haiku, but trust me, I do like this anime a lot. I've only been able to watch the first season truthfully, and that was a long time ago. So honestly, when I go back to Haiku here soon, I actually need to rewatch the first season before I go anywhere else. But I loved Haiku. This is one of the first animes that I ended up watching to start my love for anime. And I actually ended up finding this at a real like weird location, like a place that doesn't sell manga. Just found this there with a price tag. So I was like, all right, I'll pick this up. I mean, I'm gonna want it. And number one is one of the harder ones in my opinion to find that I've seen. You can find like volumes 4 and beyond all the way to 46, I believe is the final one. It's either 45 or 46, somewhere in the mid 40s. But anyways, like this is very hard to find. Volumes 1 through 4 are the hardest to find that I have seen. So I'm glad that I was able to find this at some random place, and hopefully I can find the others real soon. Now, the final one that I got here, this is my hand can't even like grab all of this. All right, I got so many volumes of Horimiya here that I had to, I'm just going to show you the first one and then you can look at the other ones over here. But Horimiya, in my opinion, is like my favorite rom-com, I would say. Absolutely love this series. This series soared in popularity at the beginning of this year because of the anime releasing and the anime actually having, in my opinion, a very good adaptation to the story of Horimiya. And although I only have volumes 1 through 6 and then a couple at the end, 14 and 15, if you can read those right there, recognize those. This is a super great season. I recommend this to anybody that wants to get into like a rom-com anime or just a good overall relatable slice of life story. And when I say that this has very lovable characters, I mean absolutely awesome characters in my opinion. It's very fun. It's very light. It's very short as well. So you're only getting, I believe, 15 volumes of the manga plus maybe the graduation book if you want to get that in Japanese, or like the art book and stuff like that. But it might be difficult to find some of these volumes, especially when you get to 5 and 6 in my personal opinion. Number 7 is the one for me that I have not been able to see. But hopefully I find that soon. All right, but let's move on to the second shelf. Now, starting off this second shelf is actually a couple volumes of a that I just recently got. This is volumes 14 and 15 of Inuyasha, which was given to me by a friend. Inuyasha, one of the more famous in terms of long time animes and manga, and I haven't really gotten into it yet, but now I guess I have to because, well, I have these 2 volumes here that was a gift from a friend. So excellent that I was able to grab these in my collection. Hopefully I can get the other ones pretty cheap if I end up liking this series. Maybe I like the anime, and well, the best of luck to me. Now, this next one's actually going to be a 2-parter because first we're starting off the manga of Danmachi, or Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? This, a lot of people are probably going to make fun of me for this. I mean, some of my friends do already. You know who you are. But this is an excellent series in my opinion. I love the story behind this. I'm a huge fan of like gods and goddesses and like Greek mythology and stuff. And this really like scratches that itch alongside this story. You've got Bel Cornell here. Excellent character. I relate to him a lot in his fear of women because women are intimidating, and just an excellent array of characters along his journey. And there's 3 seasons currently that are out right now in terms of the anime adaptation on different streaming services, and the 4th season should be coming soon. Not 100% sure when, but it has been announced, so hopefully that comes soon. I'm at volume 4, but there's a weird, interesting reading order. There's a reason why I haven't gotten 5, 6, 7, 8 beyond yet, and we'll get to that now. So this part right here, the second part of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, is actually my favorite part of the series, and it's these light novels. I think the light novels in this series are absolutely incredible. They're technically like a side story. It basically is placing these volumes inside, in between sections of the main story, and offering a perspective of not the main character, or this character, Ace Waldstein. It goes around her journey and the Loki Familia's journey, and it's such a good addition in my opinion to the Danmachi story. Gives way more in-depth character of this person right here, who is generally mysterious in the anime and gives her a lot more personality, and it kind of makes me understand a lot more of the things that she does. Danmachi actually has a bunch of different sides. So oops, that's the wrong order. Danmachi actually has several different side stories and different side books that kind of complement each series. So I hope to be able to get all of them someday, but volume 4 of Sword Oratory, the one right after this, is the next one that I have to read before I continue through the manga in terms of the reading order that the fans have created and decided upon. And that one's just been non-existent in my opinion. Speaking of another one that is non-existent, probably because it's one of the more popular mangas and animes that have come out in the last year or so, Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, this anime absolutely exploded the manga and it is just incredible. The story is I mean, honestly, the plot line itself in a generic sense is nothing super unique, but the way that they conduct these characters, the different decisions that they have to make throughout the story, and how all the things complement each other along with the beauty of the art and in the anime just make this an absolutely superb series in my opinion. This is one that is highly sought after, and there's a reason why I only have volume 1 and volume 11. At the time of this recording, the 12th volume should be coming out of Jujutsu Kaisen, and hopefully that means they're going to be restocking a lot of the ones in the middle. So hopefully I can pick that up and then a couple others as well on top of that. Now, here's another series that I'm just going to show you kind of the one up front, and it is Komi Can't Communicate. Now, this is, in my opinion, one of the funniest stories I have ever read, and I was super into this manga before I found out the anime was coming, which actually should be coming on Netflix similar to Blue Period here in a couple weeks. But just absolutely incredible. Girl with massive social anxiety wants to end up making 100 friends, and so Tadano here, also one of the main characters, the male main character in the story, he is on his way to help her make the 100 friends. And it's just it's a hilarious story. The jokes land well. It doesn't feel like it repeats itself, and it's just a super enjoyable to read. Gives me a lot of remembrance of myself nowadays, now that I'm a big weeb now. I will say though, volume 6 of this series is non-existent. There's a ton of Komi Can't Communicate volumes at my local places. Like, I can find every single volume, like 2 of each copy, except number 6. I have not been able to find number 6 at all, whether that's online or in store, and it kills me because I'm stuck right here and I haven't read past volume 5 and I just want to read 7, 8, 9. Staying on the topic of rom-coms, I have Maid-sama. Now, I actually watched Maid-sama on Hulu not too long ago, and I was absolutely, I just like this story. It's very nice. I love the idea of two like opposites kind of attracting, especially in these stories. That's why I like Horimiya so much. But this was a lot of fun. There was a lot of teasing in it, and there's a lot of character development and growth that goes along with the maid character here, and it's just absolutely incredible. I have not seen the regular volumes at anywhere, at any local store. This series is not new, and so I think if you were to try to find the regular volumes, it'd be very difficult. But I was able to find the Anubis volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 pretty easily at my local shops, but that's all I've been able to see. 5 and 6, it's just do not exist. What is it with like 5 through 8 that are just across all things just like not real? Another good old popular slice of life that actually just wrapped up its 2nd season of the anime, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Now, I really like this series. This is a very fun joy, a very fun read in my opinion, and watch of an anime. And I like fantastical beasts. I think you'll see a lot of the stuff that I have is like fantasy magic type thing. So this was kind of right up my alley with slice of life, and it's just super fun. It's super enjoyable. And I wish I could find this more. It's as Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, which is the 2nd season, was airing, this became increasingly difficult to find, and I wish I went heavy getting it right away, but you know, money issues and just having a budget, so I had to really hold off on getting these at first, and it's bitten me in the butt a little bit with this series. I haven't been able to find it. Moving on over here, we have the first 2 volumes of Mob Psycho 100. Now, Mob Psycho 100, in my opinion, is one of the best animated animes. That's a weird sentence to say. This is probably the anime that has the best animation that I've ever seen. Just the best anime quality. The fight scenes are absolutely insane. in this anime, and I just recently picked up these first 2 volumes because I had not been able to find volume 1. I can find pretty much every other volume of Mob Psycho 100 at my local places except for this one, volume 1, and especially with the Mob Psycho countdown that's been going on the Twitter account, I have a hunch that they're about to announce season 3, so I feel like I need to catch all these volumes up real quick before, you know, season 3 potentially gets announced and everyone starts buying up Mob Psycho. Highly recommend these 2 seasons of the anime if you are looking for something new and some supernatural. Now, the next one that I have is a comedy and just a regular slice of life comedy. It is Nichijou, I think that's how you pronounce it, or My Ordinary Life. Now, this is hilarious. There are a lot of jokes in this manga, and it's super funny. And honestly, I had to buy this manga. I didn't really know anything about it until I saw this on Twitter from a friend. This cover, the first volume cover, and just this just kills me. There's a lot of great jokes in here. There's no real overall story, and this manga is actually real interesting because there are times when the book makes jokes, like the book becomes meta and it makes jokes. Like halfway through the first volume, it's kind of spoilers, the book starts going upside down, so you have to start reading the manga upside down. And so the joke, I mean, if anybody sees you, is, well, you're reading a book that's upside down, what are you doing? And it's just fun like that it make this story absolutely enjoyable. And this is a really fun manga in my opinion. I haven't been able to find 4 and 5, I believe. Those are the ones at my local place that have been and not existent, not real. But hopefully soon I can find them. This did have an anime out as well, so this probably, I don't even know if this will be reprinted anytime soon though, so hopefully, I mean, if I can't find it now, it's gonna be tough. Now, speaking of a not new anime, we have One Piece, which is one of the longest running animes of, well, going on right now, I guess. I think it's the 2nd longest running as of right now, behind Detective Conan. But One Piece, very historic story. There's almost 100 volumes of the manga at the time of this recording, and I've got the Trinubis. Somebody in my Twitch had mentioned it the other day, what it is, but I can't remember what it was. But I have the first 3 volumes set in this one book. I like, especially for these longer and older series, to get the newer, like, package deal type things. It's usually more cost effective and they're a lot easier to find. Now, speaking of which, I have not been able to find 4, 5, and 6, so that has definitely halted my One Piece reading, but this is a fun, enjoyable story that has stood the test of time, and it's brought a lot of great new things, and it's one of the more popular series. So if you like pirates, you like fun, well, this may be a good one to go on. It's a very intimidating start though, with it being so big. Now, finishing off the row is Pokemon Adventures, and Pokemon Adventures, in my opinion, is an incredible manga. I think this is one of the cooler things about Pokemon in the last couple of years that I've gotten back into the franchise, and just an overall great read. It brings a different perspective kind of into the Pokemon story. Much more exciting than the anime, in my personal opinion. I find this to be way better than the anime. But I have a kind of a conglomeration of the different books. You'll see I got regular volumes right here. I've got collector's edition volumes. I got box set as well. This is because these are usually gifts from my mom, and when she asked me what volumes I had, I said 1, 2 at the time. She ended up gifting me this 3rd one. I was like, oh, that's not it, but thank you so much. And so we're figuring out, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna maybe sell this collector's edition one and then just collect the single volumes, because especially with this box set, it is just probably way easier to just have a uniform collection of these single volumes instead of just trying to maneuver around this one, because I think this has like a little bit of 3 in it, and then like, it's just a mess. But bless my mom for gifting me most of this. All right, time for the final row. Now, I'm actually going to go a little bit backwards here at the end, so hopefully y'all don't yell and scream at me. I promise it'll make sense here soon. But kicking off the final row, I'm going to go with To Your Eternity. Now, I only have the first 2 volumes, of To Your Eternity, but this is an anime that came out and started airing over the summer/spring. And in my opinion, this story is absolutely incredible. I didn't know what to expect from this. I just kind of picked it up after like 2 or 3 episodes had released. This is absolutely a beautiful story, absolutely incredible. You'll hear me in an upcoming video talk about this anime and this series itself, but very, very good. It's from the bestseller of A Silent Voice. So Yoshitoki Oima is just incredible, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful story, and I hope I can get more very soon. Volume 3 seems to be one that doesn't exist in my area, but hopefully soon. Now, another kind of random one that I have in my collection on my bookshelf, Sword Art Online Unital Ring 1. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't really know anything about Sword Art Online. I haven't seen it. I don't know the characters. I just know that I think the manga is very good, and like, or at least maybe it's just a manga, but anyways, the books are better than the anime is what I've heard. But this was also a gift given to me by a friend of mine, the same person who sent Inuyasha, so I'm very excited to read this potentially soon. Hopefully I can find the first couple soon in my local shop so then I can start reading that and enjoy it, because this is 21. I got a long way to go before I can read that one. Now, an absolutely really fun story that I love is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. This is an isekai that is really won the hearts of a lot of people as of late, and it's very, very interesting because this is one of the stories that I can actually like care about politics and like want to talk about politics, because this is so gravitating in terms of a story and so encapsulating. I love the video game aspect kind of deal that comes with this isekai, and I love the characters in this story as well. Shizue Izawa is my #1 waifu of all time. She will always be. She is the one, and I love her unconditionally. But that is neither here nor there. This is an incredible story. This is very, very good. And I can't wait to read more of the manga soon. And there's also a bunch of spin-off stories as well. Like, I believe there's a light novel series, and then there's a couple like spin-off stories that go along with it. So I'm excited to eventually get into those. Now, speaking of video game qualities, we have 2 volumes, the first 2 volumes of the Solo Leveling Manhwa. So technically, again, I guess I lied in the title and thumbnail of this video, but this is a manhwa, not a manga. If you don't know exactly what a manhwa is, this is basically in Korea. Like, it's the Korean version of manga. So it's very, very cool. Also has that kind of video gamey aspect, probably more heavily in the video game side. Solo Leveling, kind of it alludes to it in the title. But this is a very, very cool story in my opinion. The art in this is also beautiful. Absolutely love it. And the 3rd volume is coming soon. I know that there's a light novel series as well that kind of runs on top of this. Like, the volumes come out at about the same time. I believe both volume 3s of the manhwa and the light novel are coming out on the same exact day. So that makes it really, really nice if you want to collect the light novel part of this series, but I haven't gotten to that part yet. But hopefully I do soon, because this is awesome, and I would love to get an anime out of this, to be honest. And the final one of this part of the final row is My Senpai is Annoying. Now, this is a rom-com slice of life. Again, me and the rom-coms, I love them. But it's very, very interesting. It's very funny. It's got a lot of good jokes in it, and this actually is an anime coming out this fall. So I'm excited to, after reading the first volume, I'm excited about the anime coming out. Hopefully I can get the other volumes as well. I believe they're pretty easy to find, like 2 through 5, I believe. I've been seeing a lot lately at my local store, so I should just hop on that here real soon. But very, very cool, very, very fun. I like this a lot, and hopefully I can get the other volumes pretty easily here soon. So now we're going to switch over to this side, and if you had been following along and you had been noticing some things, you would have saw that none of those series were up to date or complete. There was definitely ones that were in order, like I had 1 through 6 or 1 through 3 or something like that, but none of those were ever complete or up to date with the English releases. This portion over here, this side, is complete. These are series that are up to date. I have caught up with. I have every single volume that is out at that current time, and it's very, very I don't know, I just wanted to put it there. Plus it just looked a little bit nicer in terms of the organization. The first one we're going to go to is 86. Now you may be thinking, Jake, wait, you already showed 86. What are these? This is the manga version of 86. The ones that I showed you earlier are the light novels of the series. This is the manga. I haven't gotten around to reading these yet because I've just been trying to read everything else, but very, very good series. Again, I love this series. I'm so excited for part 2 to come out, and I can't wait to see the art in as well. I'll probably, I don't know, probably binge this as soon as the first episode is gone. Now, again, a lot of you are probably going to make fun of me for this, but Date Alive is the next one, the light novel series of Date Alive. So this is like my guilty pleasure anime. I absolutely love this anime. I've made a video on this anime recently with season 4 and its postponement of the anime, which, by the way, if you watch that, thank you for watching that, and if you don't know about that, go check out the iCard up top. But this is a very, very good series. I think the light novels do a very good job, at least for the first 2 arcs you can see here. They do a very good job of retelling the story, but in a little bit more depth and giving that perspective and same enjoyment that I had when I binge watched the anime the first 3 seasons. It's very cute. It's very fun. There's a lot of good jokes. It doesn't take itself super seriously, I feel like, and it's just a very enjoyable read, and I'm excited for volume 3, which I believe is coming out this Tuesday at the time of this recording. Now, I'm up to date on this short 1-book series. This is the light novel, The Detective Is Already Dead. This is a interesting novel where, well, the detective is dead, and I don't want to spoil too much for you, but the anime adaptation, if you end up watching it, is really, really weird. So I highly recommend that you just go ahead and read the light novel first. This was pretty easy to find at my local shop. I think you could probably find this as well if you have a decent manga section, like at your Barnes & Noble or Books A Million or something like that. But very, very good. I love the light novel series. I'm excited for the second one to come out here very, very soon. And it's very enjoyable. All right, here comes the real judgment time. The colorful series of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Now, this is another rom-com. This one is a little, I would say that this is probably the raunchiest of the rom-coms that I have, because even though nothing really happens, there's a lot of more adult jokes, I'll say, that happen in this. Just kind of as the title indicates, I just kind of binged this one day over the summer shortly after the season had finished airing, and I was like, you know what, I just want something to watch. What is up next? And this was super, super enjoyable, actually, in my opinion. There's a lot of great jokes. I actually thought it was super, super funny, and honestly, I really, really loved it. The manga right now, so volume 8 just recently came out, is actually ahead of the anime. So if you want to get ahead of the anime before season 2 inevitably comes, you can get ahead right on the series. I believe volume 9 is actually coming out really, really soon, because I think volume 8 got slightly delayed, but volume 9 is just right around the corner. They're very, very short reads as well. Like, these books are not that big. Now, a comedic slice of life that I have, The Great J Will Not Be Defeated. This is an anime that started airing very, very late in the fall. I actually have been enjoying this anime a ton. It's very funny, it's very cute, there's a lot of good jokes, and honestly, I just love the characters in this as well. It's very, very good, very well written, and I think this is a very enjoyable one for anyone who just wants a lighthearted, fun anime or manga to read. The second one, I believe, is also coming soon, like here in the next month and a half or so. So definitely one as well that you could probably find pretty easily and also just catch up on. Oh, that's her other orbits. Yeah, but a series that doesn't have an anime that I think a lot of people who love comedy should read is Mashly. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, but this is a fun thing. Imagine Harry Potter as a comedy and no TERFs. That's exactly what this series is. Mashly, magic and muscles, absolutely hilarious. Absolutely love it. Only the first 2 volumes have come out as of right now, and I wish more people talked about this manga. It's absolutely incredible. It's very, very fun. If you want a test of it, maybe you don't want to commit to buying the volumes, you can actually read a lot of it on Viz Media. I think I actually read the entire first volume on Viz Media, and I was just sold instantly after reading the first couple of chapters. It's just a hilarious story. I hope one day it gets into anime, because I think it would be so good and so fun, because there's just some really, really good potential in the fight scenes in these first 2 volumes. And that's just that so far, not even talking about the upcoming one. Now, if there's a manga that I wish didn't get an anime, it's Peach Boy Riverside. You may have seen in one of my previous videos, you can check out the iCard that's popped up over here if you want. But this got a anime that was so poor compared to the manga. This is actually an incredible manga. I love this series in terms of its manga. I've read like the first 4 volumes, I think, in terms of the manga version. Actually more than that. I think I'm through like 6 or 7. But anyways, very good, very great story, great characters, and excellent art as well in this manga. I can't wait to start collecting more and more of these, and hopefully season 2 is better. I would say if you end up wanting to watch the first season of Peach Boy Riverside, I highly suggest checking out the video that I made. I have a like revised watch order that you should watch the episodes, because you shouldn't watch them from the listed 1 through 12. You should really be watching it like, I don't even remember what the order is, but it's definitely not 1 through 12. Now, talk about a beautiful, I'm just gonna put that like that right there and show you the first volume. Talk about a beautiful series, Rent a Girlfriend. Now, this is another kind of rom-com. It's definitely like not as comedic as other rom-coms that I've presented, like Horimiya or Homie Can't Communicate. But this is a very still great series in my personal opinion. It's very fun. I like the characters. There's good like character development that happens throughout the story of its main characters, and it's an intriguing plotline, because honestly, this is an actual service that like exists and is popular in Japan, like renting a girlfriend, renting someone to go on dates with. It's very interesting. It's very cool, and I like it a lot. I love the characters. I think the art is very good in this as well, and honestly, I can't wait for more volumes. The manga as of right now as well is past the first season in the anime, so if you're interested in watching the anime, you should 100% do it. I believe the anime is through the first 6 volumes, so if you don't want to get any spoilers for the upcoming season 2 of Rent a Girlfriend, just read the first 6. But honestly, like, I had to read volume 7 and 8. I couldn't hold myself, and I can't wait for volume 9. Now, the last set of books that I have is a series that I honestly just picked up on a whim, literally knew nothing about. It is Weathering with You. This is probably, I would say, one of my favorite mangas to read. I cannot describe to you the joy that I had when reading this series for the first time. It was absolutely incredible. I literally was just like buying manga at the local shop, and I decided on a whim, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick up something and start a series that I've never heard of before, don't know anything about it. I'm just gonna try it and see if I enjoy it. And I picked up Weathering with You volume 1, and I do not regret it. This is an incredible story. This is a very loving story, very good journey, and it's only got a movie because it's only 3 volumes long. This was published not too long ago, but just an incredible, enjoyable story, and I highly recommend both this and the movie. The movie is absolutely beautiful. There's some excellent scenes in that movie that are just give you a bunch of awe, and it's just, my goodness, I just love it so much. I'll never forget how this made me feel. Now, the final touch that I have on this bookshelf actually is a different thing that I don't see many people do, but I actually put in the front on this spot. If you look at my YouTube videos, if you look at my Twitch streams, you will see that usually I have a book up front, manga or light novel volume up here up front that's kind of like random out of the blue. That's because this is currently the manga that I'm reading. So I recently found volumes 2 and 3 of The Case Study of Vanitas, that being one of my favorite mangas as of right now, just the artistic beauty and the great anime along with it. I gotta read this ASAP, so I'm just about to start 3. I'll probably do that later tonight and probably finish up 3, to be honest, because with The Case Study of Vanitas, I am usually read the entire thing in one sitting. Usually in YouTube videos, if it's an anime that I've collected some of the manga, like if we made a Rent a Girlfriend video, I'd probably put a Rent a Girlfriend volume out in front instead of this. But if it's a video or we're going in a stream, a Twitch stream, and this is just a volume that doesn't have any relation to what's going on, this is the volume that I'm reading. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this and checking out my collection. I kind of want to start doing like monthly haul videos because I just want to show you all like what manga I'm getting as well, and this seemed to be like a good way to kick it off because, well, that would be one huge manga haul. I know I don't have the most expansive collection because, well, I don't have a ton of money, but I have enough to be able to survive and enjoy an excellent anime series that I personally love. So again, if you liked what you saw here, make sure to please leave a thumbs up on the video, and then also maybe comment what you're reading right now. And also, if you ever want to send me something like manga or whatever, my PO box is in the description. A couple people from our community have sent me manga or like other anime related things, and so if you ever want to do that, PO box is in the description below. Just leave a comment or something like, hey, I sent you something, so then I know to go look for it in the mail. I also kind of apologize the last couple days in terms of the lack of uploads. Originally I had stuff scheduled, but I found out that YouTube and some other corporations weren't liking my videos in terms of they would block it on YouTube. So just to be transparent about that, so I've had to redo some things, and it's kind of put me in a flux. I'm learning all these things, but it will not stop me from creating content. And thank you all again so much for watching. If you want to check out more videos, there are some that have popped up over there, that and a playlist. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you're enjoying your journey of getting manga. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.